My girlfriend's friends gave me a bath when I was drunk. I am disgusted and embarrassed. So about a week ago I posted my original, which got deleted, so I put it down there. And then there's an update for those who were wondering. Original. So I 20 male went out partying with a few buddies and we all came back wasted. I live with my girlfriend and I came home extremely drunk. My friends put me to bed and left. My girlfriend, 19 female, had 2 or 3 friends over. I ended up throwing up on myself and my girlfriend came to check up on me and saw some puke on me. So she and her friends lugged me to the bathroom, took all my clothes off, and gave me a bath. Like a scrubbing everything with a sponge bath. Butt naked. I was semi-conscious at the time and half aware of what was happening but barely able to move. I mumbled stop and no a few times, but I don't think they really heard. Even drunk me was humiliated to be naked in front of all my girlfriend's face. So they washed me, then put me to bed with a blanket over me, without putting clothes on me. I woke up hungover the next day and could see I was naked under the covers. I immediately put clothes on and my girlfriend and her friends had slept over. They were doing a movie night thing and they were already up. They all started giggling and I felt super self-conscious. One of them complimented me and said I was handsome. I told them I was totally not okay with what they did. Their expressions immediately changed and they all started yelling they just helped me and I had no leg to stand on. I reiterated they were not allowed to wash me without my consent, especially if I was able to talk and I was going to be talking to someone about it. They freaked out but I pushed past them and left. I haven't gone back yet, but I've been getting tons of texts begging me not to do anything. They keep saying when you're drunk friends are supposed to help you out and clean you up. So now I'm asking, should I do something about this? What do I do? Am I wrong to feel exposed? Edit to answer common questions. 1. I was not flailing or thrashing or continuing to puke. I was totally immobile. Everything was foggy and I told them no, but I wasn't really moving. 2. I do not regularly get this drunk and thanks to all the people for saying it's my fault. I'm in college. Some days we go out and go a little overboard. We've all had those days where we threw up. It happens. 3. My girlfriend could have easily bathed me herself. There's people arguing that switching the genders isn't the same because one guy could bathe a drunk girl. So could she. I wasn't fighting or anything. I've bathed her once or twice and I make her girlfriends leave too because I respect her privacy. 4. It is not the same as doctors doing it. Doctors are trained medical professionals and my girlfriend's friends are not my loved ones. We're not friends, they're her friends. We barely talk. 5. I have my own room. I puked in my room, we don't share it. 6. I am 5 feet 11 and 138 pounds. For those wondering, my girlfriend is 5 feet 7 and 124. Update. Hi again everyone. I am the little crybaby beach whose girlfriend and her friends gave me a group bath. Sound weird yet? To clarify, I was fine with them helping me go to the tub. But my GF knew I was uncomfortable with her friends being there and trust me, she did not need their help. I've cleaned her up before and she's cleaned me up once before and she did it on her own. These are her friends, not mine. We don't have a relationship. They touched me all over while I was vulnerable and without clothes. That's disgusting and they 100% knew what they were doing wrong. We've all gotten drunk before. We're in college. It happens. Not often, but every now and then, and we help each other out. But my girlfriend had permission to help me out, not her friends. Just like how she gives me permission to help her out, not her friends. They all stayed there. They knew they should have left. I told them to stop. Anyway, the point isn't that. It's the update. I was staying at my friend's house and he was on my side. Thankfully, my GF stopped by to talk when he was out and showed up at the door. When I saw her through the peephole, the first thing I did was start a video on my phone in my pocket. She started explaining to me they were helping me out and I needed their help. I cut her off and asked her how she'd feel if my friends and I bathed her. She got quiet and said it wasn't the same thing. Girls are more vulnerable than boys and it was her and her friends' natural maternal instinct to take care of me. I asked her real talk, why didn't she tell her friends to leave? She didn't say anything for a while and then after some grilling she finally replied she did, but they asked to stay because they didn't think she could handle it herself. I asked why she didn't say no because she knew she could, she's done it once before. And she said they wanted to stay so she let them. They said just in case and insisted. So what's the harm? I asked why, and she shrugged. She started crying. I asked her why they didn't leave me in my boxers. She said they were dirty. I said no. She could have easily poured water with a handheld shower head and they would have cleaned. I puked on my shirt. I asked her again but she stayed firm on them being dirty and she definitely had to remove them. She sort of shut off then, but I told her I wouldn't be able to forgive her if she didn't tell me exactly what happened and why. I hugged her and said I had to know or else we were done. She was hesitant but I swore up and down I wouldn't take it to the police. I just wanted to know. She finally agreed and I asked if they heard me tell them to stop and she said she had heard me say something and shake my head but she didn't know what I said. I went back to our place after the conversation and after she went to sleep I took out her phone. Yes. Okay. I am a snoop. I am wrong. But I had to know. We know each other's passwords so I opened it and went to her texts. I texted them from her, asking if they knew what I had mumbled. One claimed not to have heard anything. The other two admitted they'd heard me mumble stop, but I was drunk and needed their help. I screenshotted the text. There were some texts directly after the event where one commented, "Well, that was fun." Maybe sarcastic, maybe not. Nevertheless, I don't like it. I left afterward, back to my friend's place, and texted my GF I wasn't quite ready to continue our relationship, but we'd see how it went. The reason I am posting this is because I want some advice. I have evidence of what they did. Screenshots of texts and a voice recording. The question I am asking now is, should I take it to the RA or the sexual assault department? I know now they chose to stay in there after my GF asked them to leave and my GF let them stay in there. I know they physically bathed me when I was immobile and didn't need more than one person. But is this reason enough to go to authorities? I haven't told our mutuals about the incident because that may lead to ostracization, and I don't know where I want to go with this. I am not ready to let it go. But should I report it? Our college has a firm policy on things like this. It's not a little thing. They investigate all claims, whatever they are, carefully. Better ask judgment-free internet strangers than actual people in my life. Let me have it, guys. You should ask legal advice subs for help or actual in real life legal advice, especially as you might not be able to use evidence from voice recordings or that you took from her phone without permission. This is an incredibly frustrating situation. I am glad you're staring to get support from your own friends. I'd personally want to get my side out first with my friends before this all blows up and they start spreading lies. When a guy friend of mine was assaulted at a party, a bunch of us left with him and everyone who found out was 100% on his side. We might come from different cultures, but it's not a given that people will be against you like some commenters say. Me Too has helped open people's eyes. Tons of victim blaming and suck it ups in this thread. What a sad community this must be to immediately trash someone who genuinely felt harmed or violated. I hope OP reads this. I saw your original post and have been thinking about it since. I'm a female. When I was 14-15, I was in a similar situation. I was at a party with about 10 people aged 15-22, one of them being my best friends. We all got trashed. I got too trashed. I woke up the next day with my hair in knots and a new outfit on. When I started asking what happened, I was told that I threw up on myself and several people carried me to the shower, stripped me down and bathed me. These people that participated were male and female. I cried when I found out because I was super embarrassed and didn't want people seeing me naked. To this day, I don't know what all happened. It took me years to get past it. I was never upset with the people who did this because I knew they were trying to take care of me. I think they did what they thought was best in the moment. I had one of them apologize about the situation later on and that they wish it happened differently. Basically, my advice is to see a therapist over it. Take some space from the people involved. Take some space from drinking. Talk about it and work through some things with a therapist before making any decisions. In my situation, I felt violated, embarrassed, stupid, and just overall disgusted. I didn't feel like I should report though. You need to reach a decision with the help of a therapist. Not family, not friends, and not the internet in any way. Talk it out with a third part who is trained to help you work through all the emotions you're experiencing. Then decide on what to do. Second story. My wife 30 female suffers from extreme germophobia and anxiety. I 30 male take as many as 30 showers a week to ease her fear of infection. Our relationship is not sustainable and I need help. Hi, everyone. This will probably be lengthy as I have nobody in my life to talk to about this. This is as much an advice thread as it is a place for me vent, and it feels good to air this out. My wife suffers from intense germophobia and anxiety. We have been together for 11 years and married for 8. She has not always been like this. She was relatively normal while we dated, but it started to get worse after we got married. She previously worked at a hotel as a receptionist and was occasionally required to handle and wash guest towels. Well, she ended up contracting a staph infection and had to be hospitalized to have the infection drained. Following this, she had to be on antibiotics for 30 days. Ever since that experience, her anxiety and fear of infection has steadily grown over the years up until this point. We also have 2 children, 2-year-old boy and 5-year-old girl, and her tendencies affect them. Also, the following list is my attempt at a comprehensive germ prevention standard operating procedures of our household. If I touch a light switch, I need to wash my hands. If I touch a doorknob, I need to wash my hands. If I go to the garage, I need to take a shower before I can sit down or do anything. If I touch her pajamas or I touch towels, then I need to take a shower. If I even enter the guest bathroom, then I have to take a shower. If my kids enter the guest bathroom, they have to have a bath. I am not allowed to use her toilet in the master bathroom. She stops up her toilet every day and requires me to plunge and clean it. She uses 3 times as much TP as a regular person would. The cleaning process is 3 Clorox wipes, 1 for the seat, 1 for under, and 1 to use to flush it with. I have to immediately shower after this. If she spills excess water on the floor, then I have to mop it and anywhere I walk, to include the entire house if that is where I walked after stepping in the water. She goes through entire loads of her pajamas daily just trying to change her clothes. Every time she uses the toilet, she has to change her clothes. She washes her hands and arms up to her elbows and then her face. If she gets water on her shirt, she will change it. If, when putting on her shirt, she touches it to her body, she will change it. If her pants touch the floor when she is putting them on, she will change them. She discards the top shirts in her drawer every time she gets dressed. She uses 6-7 towels after a shower, discarding half of them because they touched my chest. As you can see, this adds up and I end up folding laundry for 60-90 minutes every day. This doesn't include the time it takes to actually change it out and take showers. If I even touch the dishwasher, I have to wash my hands. If she takes a shower and gets in the bed, she will not leave the bedroom, or she considers herself dirty and would have to shower again. This means if she is hungry or thirsty, I will bring it to her. Her showers last around 40 minutes. She bathes 3-4 times and washes her hair 2 times. Our water bill is ridiculous. If my son Tuyo takes one step outside of his playpen, then he has to have a bath before he can go in his bed. This includes naps. If I take him outside even just for 1 minute, he would need a bath before he can get in his bed. Not even changing his clothes would suffice. When I clean the house, which I don't mind. By the way, cleaning your house is necessary. Everything has to be done in a very specific order. No deviations from this order or it has to be redone. Change out laundry and leave washer free. Wash hands, face, and arms and change clothes. Sanitize all toys on floor and put away. Pick up all clothes and put in baskets. Sanitize all counters. Clean kids' bathroom. Take out master bathroom trash. Wash hands. Replace bag. Take out kids' trash. Wash hands. Replace bag. Take out kitchen trash. Wash hands. Replace bag. Clean guest bathroom. Wash hands. Take out trash. Wash hands. Replace bag. Sweep entire house in a very specific order. Mop house in very specific order. I want to make this clear, I have no problem with cleaning, but I often do something in the wrong order or forget to wash my hands and I get berated. My wife has little patience for mistakes that involve germs. Often, I have to clean the house late at night after the kids go to bed, so I will be doing it after midnight. Of course I will make mistakes when I am mentally exhausted. If I bring her water, I have to wash my hands and then hold the cup over my head as it clears the kitchen counter. She thinks that if I hold her cup around my chest that it will touch the counter and be dirty. I do the same thing with plates and utensils. If I have to discard a piece of clothing on the floor in her vicinity, she will change her clothes and get pissed. She thinks that the air created when the clothing hits the floor will blow bacteria all over her. This is perhaps the one that triggers me the most. If my dog gets out, he has to have a bath before he can come back. He gets out often because she won't close the door. My wife will not touch doorknobs. She uses her foot to close the door and she will just ducking leave it open over actually closing it even when she leaves the house. If I leave the house with my phone, I cannot bring it back into the house until I sanitize it. That includes washing the phone case with soap and water and then using alcohol on the phone. No shoes on the in-house. Ever. I had contractors over a month ago and they wore shoes. I had to sanitize every object they touched, and mop twice where they walked. Her depth perception is abysmal. We get in so many fights because she thinks that I touched her with a dirty object when I was halfway across the room. When she gets dressed, I have to watch her and verify that she doesn't touch her body with the outside of the shirt. Same with pants. We never have people over because of her fear of infection. Plus, I am the one who has to clean and sanitize, so I am reluctant to even mention hosting an event or having a party at the house. There is more things I have to deal with, but I cannot remember every situation right now. The worst of it for me is the constant laundry, 3-4 loads a day, sometimes more, and showers, 4-5 showers a day. I have taken as many as 9 showers in one day and as many as 35 showers in 1 week. I wash my hands over 50 times a day. I have gotten to the point where I just pretend to take a shower or wash my hands if she isn't in the room. I fantasize about just being able to get through my day not feeling like a puppet on a string. I get no sleep, maybe 4 or 5 hours on average, and have almost no free time. And this is not because of my kids. You may be thinking, dude, go to marriage counseling. We did that about 2 months ago. My dad may be the only person who really knows what I am going through. He told me to be completely honest, hold nothing back. That is exactly what I did. I told the counselor everything that I just revealed to all of you. I have had this talk with my wife already, but she says, you can leave at any time. If you can't handle it, you don't have to be here. The counselor was speechless for a second, but then began to address my wife and asking her if it was all true. My wife just shut down and barely refused to acknowledge it. After the session, my wife got upset at me for throwing her under the bus and canceled all future sessions. I want to say one last thing before she went deep into this fear of infection. We had a great relationship. We loved each other and felt we were meant to be. I still love her and want it to work. I have been dealing with the worst of this for nearly 3 years now. I am physically and mentally exhausted. I have thought of leaving multiple times, but I am afraid of how it will affect my kids. We also bought a huge house and invested sums of money into it that we would lose. My wife refuses to take medication for her anxiety. I don't blame her. Most of it hasn't worked in the past. Has anyone ever been in situations similar to this? Thank you for taking the time to read, and I appreciate any and all advice. Too long didn't read. My wife suffers from extreme germophobia and it severely complicates my life and my children's lives. Hey OP, you say you are scared to be a single parent. That's very understandable. But let's talk about fear for a second. Because fear right now seems to be the third wheel in your marriage and it's coming in hot. I have OCD, and although I am not a doctor, I find categorizing it under the 4 pillars has helped to explain it to others. And helped me to discuss it more pragmatically as well. The 4 pillars are germs, cleanliness. You're familiar with this one. Intrusive thoughts. If I don't do Y, X will happen. There are usually several Y's for every X. Counting turn stove off exactly 5 times to make sure it is off. And hoarding by separating with this item. I have experienced a loss beyond what is rational. Therefore I will have control over all items. The unifying thread here is control. And fear of losing it. I won't make this comment too lengthy, but I recommend inviting a conversation with your wife about how she feels about hoarders. Not the dirty stuff, or trash, but things like photos or furniture or children's clothes that are now too small. Why doesn't she want to keep all of those things? In this she will likely discuss her rational thoughts, her power of strength over sentiment, her priorities of a healthy living space, etc. Hint: these are things she will have to embrace fully to begin to heal from her germophobic behaviors. She likely doesn't believe she has these powers, but she's already utilizing them over the other 3 pillars, so she does have them. Then, a conversation about the other pillars. Intrusive thoughts, for example, which are my issue. Why don't you have to knock on something constantly to prevent a bad event from happening? Why don't you have to repeat certain phrases again and again to keep family safe? Learn about intrusive thought sufferers and have her explain to you why that seems silly. Hint: holding the water cup over your head is intrusive thought suffering. And the more she discusses arbitrary measures to prevent bad things, the more likely she is to begin to see this as well. The counting also seems absurd to some people, but does she not have a set amount of times you have to wash or scrub something? Or a set amount of wipes she must use? Talking about the 4 pillars, in particular the ones she does not have, and discussing why she is free from them will ultimately shine light on the best places for you to start with her healing. It will show the cracks in her disease. OCD is a fear of losing control. Some doctors believe it is a combination of ADHD and trauma. It is absolutely curable. It is absolutely treatable. You do not need to suffer, but one has to want to be helped. Her measures are not keeping her healthy, just as much as my behaviors are not keeping the details of my life just as I want them. And even just typing that is making me panic. But if it wasn't for the years of adjustments I've learned to make, I would have simply closed this thread, done a round of habitual gestures, and pushed it out of my mind. Best of luck OP. You say you don't want to leave because of the kids, but honestly this sounds like an awful environment for children. She needs professional help, someone who deals with anxiety disorders. This isn't going to get better on its own. She can't continue like this, and she will more than likely have to take meds. If they don't work, you tell the doctor and they prescribe different ones until she finds one that does. Can I also ask why you agree to do the cleaning and take a ridiculous amount of showers? Why do you not say no? Honestly, I feel you need to tell her that she needs to get proper help now, or you will leave and you will take the children. Third story. My 24 female girlfriend's phone and purse got stolen in the riots. She wants a 1,500 iPhone. I 25 male told her I will buy her a 250 Android phone and nothing more. She is threatening to break up with me. Relationship advice. Submitted 1 year ago by Throra 4561 to our relationship advice. My girlfriend and I have both been together for 1.5 years. We don't live together, but now during quarantine she has started sleeping over my place a lot and is over my apartment more days than not. Now when these protests started happening, I told her that it is not safe for her. We are both Indian and that there's a lot of racism against our people because we are known for owning stores in black neighborhoods. Plus things have been tense. I urged her not to go for her safety. She was angry for me not going. I told her that I will exercise my civic duty in the election booth, not over protest. She went out at 1 p.m. I saw she posted on Instagram throughout till 4:30 p.m. I texted her. No response. 6 p.m. call her, no response. 9 p.m. no response. I reach out to her friend, nothing. Finally I call her friends' houses that also live in DC. Finally heard from one of them that she just got back, that my girlfriend is on the way home soon. Finally see my girlfriend worried sick about her. She told me that she was mugged by a group of men. Her friend was pushed to the ground, got her purse yanked. We talked about it. Her friend Sarah was roughed up more as someone also kicked her in the gut when she fell. I didn't tell her I told you so or anything. I just helped her deactivate her credit cards and change passwords for banking apps, etc. My girlfriend also needed her phone to RSA and to work, so she needs a phone. My girlfriend told me she isn't in a place to buy a phone, that money was tight beforehand. She starts looking at the iPhone 11. She had an iPhone X before. I tell her if she is looking for me to buy her a phone, I am not paying for her to get a 1,500 phone. She tells me that her purse, etc., everything she lost was over 2.5k. I told her that is her fault. I tell her that I am more than willing to help her out, but I am going to get her a cheap Android phone. She gets angry at me for that, calling me cheap. I am like, you are the one that lost your stuff being stupid. She then calls me in a hole, getting angrier and angrier. She then threatened to break up with me, saying that I should be taking care of her during a time like this if anything. We get into another fight. I told her that she is staying at my place 90% of the food I am buying, and now she wants a top of the line iPhone from her own stupidity. She then says I am victim blaming. I told her that she can ask the guys that mugged her for her phone back, or she can file a police report. I don't know what to say. Like, if you need a phone for basic parts of life, sure, I'll do it, but this expensive phone is not necessary. I am not sure what to do here. I feel like I am already being pretty kind here and helping out, and I don't know why she is expecting this much for me. Like, if she asked her parents, they wouldn't buy her a phone. I don't know. I love her, but I don't think this is fair at all. What should I do next? Too long didn't read. Girlfriend lost her phone after being mugged. She is asking me to buy her a new iPhone. I am telling her absolutely not. That I will get her a 250 phone. She then threatens to break up with me. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.